Welcome. Hi, this is Carol Mixon-Krendl from SkillCheck, and today I'm going to be talking about benefits of mobile apps for the self-storage industry. And I have an awesome presenter with me today, Shannon Charbonneau from XPS Solutions. We like using their technology to record calls and the call center that they have. I've used them in the past and the 36 locations that I had. So I wanted to just bring this topic up and let's get rolling. How you doing, Shannon?
Fantastic. How are you, Carol?
Good, thank you. What do you know about mobile apps, or what do you like about the mobile apps?
Well, I can tell you my favorite thing about it is that it helps your self-storage facilities take fewer calls, which is sometimes a funny thing you wouldn't expect necessarily from a call center operator. But years and years in this industry have taught us that there are a lot of phone calls that your self-storage facilities take that are taking their precious time in the office that are not sales calls. So what we want to do is make it easier for your current tenants to do what they need to do. And everybody has their smartphone glued to their hand all the time, right?
Yeah,
So if we can put some of those frequent call issues on an app, it just makes them happy.
it's true. Hey, Shannon, I have a good story for you because I went to one of my stores in Northern California, and there was a new employee there. And so I was going to meet the employee and talk to her and spend some time with her about just our company and everything because she'd gone through some training already. And a customer drove up and we could see out the little window in the office where it was the gate operator was just outside that window. So we could see her. And you can see her going through this big purse. It almost looked like luggage, right? So she's looking through it. And so this new girl says, she goes, "Oh my gosh, I gave her another card yesterday and she's looking for it again today." And so, and she was a little, I kind of looked at this new employee like, wow, that was a little weird, right? And then the manager said, "Oh, let me just check here for her." And she said, "What was the unit number?" I remember the unit number. And so we were trying to look it up because I said, "Well, let's look it up for her. Let's not have her, searching forever sitting there." And so then the girl goes, "No, I'll just go tell her. I just remind her that where it is and everything." And and so I was shocked because I just didn't like the way she said it. So the customer backs out and she parks and she comes in and she goes, "I am so sorry." She goes, I've been so screwed up with this." And she goes, "Ma'am, we gave you a card yesterday. Do we have to do it? Is there another one today you need?" And I was like,
Oh my God.
wow, I couldn't believe it.
Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
couldn't believe it. And before I left, I terminated her. That's just it. I just thought, you know what?
Yeah.
She's so early and new into this. And you're right. People call and ask, people forget their unit numbers all the time. That is,
They
and they do call for it. They come into the office for it. We put it on cards. Trying to find, the gate access amount. They forget all kinds of things. I mean, there are people that have tried to put their key into another lock and actually have broken it off into somebody
Oh my
else's lock because they got the wrong number. So it really is, having that mobile app would be huge. And if
It
we can just
would.
help customers get to it, it would be awesome.
Well, and
So
from a tenant perspective, I can tell you I needed to rent storage a few years ago. I was moving from one house to another, and there was, the time gap in there.
yeah,
And we were building and it wasn't ready yet, and we had to move out, and it was crazy. So they
yeah,
gave me one of those cards. They sure did. I
yeah,
was in the middle of a move when they gave me that card, right? So
yep,
it was not the most top priority item. And I didn't go to look, I didn't go visit my stuff, not
right,
that person. And when I wanted to go move it out effectively, I couldn't find that card. There's no telling what I did with it after they gave
right,
that to me.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's just crazy, isn't it?
absolutely.
But it is, if
Absolutely.
you've forgotten, your gate access or the code, the space number. And look at, again, the other thing we can do is to check the last payments made. They can get their
Hmm.
current balance. So
Right.
all the things that they can do on a mobile app is just so helpful.
It is. And
Yeah.
and look at it this way too. When people make a payment, I mean, from an operator's perspective, I know I'm not telling you anything you don't know. They don't just call and say, "I want to make my payment." They call and say, when's my bill due? How much is
Yeah.
my bill? Right?
Yes.
And then they call again 2 days later. I call it the "I'll gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today" call. When they say, "Hey, I get paid on Friday, I'll
Right.
come in," right? So that's a whole other call. So some of the things, again, being a call center and hearing the types of calls that we get, we wanted to make sure that our mobile app, which we call My Store Pal, would allow a tenant using their telephone number that's on the account and the email address that's on the account as a verifier to set that
Ah,
up.
good
Once
idea.
they're, yeah, we want to, make sure everybody's information stays safe. But once they're in there, they can look up their unit number. Sounds crazy, but they need it. They have gate access codes, building access codes, right? So if you have a gate to drive on and a building code for them to get into your climate controlled location, they can check their payments, they can make their payment. And from that app right there, if they do need more assistance, there's live chat, there's call the
Good.
office, there's check the website. They can do anything just from that one app.
Yeah.
So, the thing that people already have in their hands really is going to help them. And, there are other apps as well that do things like open the gates where, we love our friends over at PTI. They have a
Mhm.
fantastic application that does that.
Yes. My daughter, I don't know, Shannon, if you know this, but my daughter worked at a store that had all of the doors that they could open it, the customer could open it with their app. And it's just a whole different mindset. She hardly
Mhm.
even, most of their rentals were on the internet. When people came in, there
Right.
was a kiosk basically, or something like that, or there was a computer right there that they could sign up and it was easy for the customer. In fact, a lot of
Mhm.
customers, especially when we got into COVID-19,
Yeah.
they would prefer to do it by themselves. And then
Yep.
not you stand over there. And so she would just wait until they were done. And now she's at a new store and it's different. And then she doesn't have all these mobile capabilities. So
Right.
she's like, oh my gosh, it's a lot of work. So the
Yeah.
mobile app really
Time.
saves a lot of time and effort and
Yes.
people forgetting, because I'm in that age group now where sometimes 5 minutes later I'm like, what was that?
I
I
swear
totally
we just
forget.
talked about that.
Yes, and my mom is like 94, I think she's 94. But sometimes I'm around her and I'm like, no, mom, she forgot the name of my niece. And I said, mom, it's Pam. So okay, I'm not that bad yet, but we know our customers, these are all things that they always forget. I mean, it is so common that, they
It
forget
is.
all of these things. Because if you're not going there very frequently, you forget.
Mhm.
And then the doors, there's so many of them. You think, am I on the first row or the third row or the which? I don't know. It can be
Yeah.
confusing. So,
We
but I
call those
like
the
that.
the infrequent flyers.
Yes, infrequent flyers. That's a good point. Let's go to the next slide.
Fantastic.
So making tenants aware. Can you tell us a little
Right.
bit about that?
Right. So basically, if you offer a mobile app at your facility, it doesn't do you any good to have an app if your
Right.
tenants don't know that you have it,
Have
right?
one.
Right.
True.
So the best thing that you can do is just make them aware from day one. So you have what we call visual cues at the facility. You could put a counter card on your card if you're doing live rentals in person.
Right.
Even if you're doing contact lists, you could certainly put that somewhere that somebody is at the computer could see it. We make gate code stickers or door code stickers that say, forgot your gate code, download the mobile app,
Good.
because
That's
we know
awesome.
that's literally where they're going to need
True.
it, right?
Yeah.
Um, and so we do that. And then, of course, if it were me and I were the operator and I were leaving a voicemail message or sending an email to somebody who owed money, you
Right.
can bet I would say, download that mobile app
Yeah.
and make your payment. I would never in a million years tell them to call me,
Right.
right? What's there to talk about? I just
No.
need you to give us some
Let's make
money.
a payment. Yeah. Here's the way you make a payment. Good point.
Ex-
So you can get either email, text, or voice messages that way, right?
Right. Well, what I'm saying is that when your store is communicating with their
Yes.
tenants already, we give
Yep.
you, text and information you can put right on your
Right
lease,
on.
right on your
Yep.
text messages, whatever you're doing
Perfect.
already.
Yes. That's awesome.
Yep.
Hey, Shannon, that is great information. I'm really glad that you spent some time with us this morning to be able to do this, because so many things are happening now in COVID-19, and we're trying to have less contact with customers and well, we really want contact, but right now our customers need less contact. And this just makes it way easier for us to have less contact and then still get them, in and out of the property really easily. I think is
Right.
fantastic. Even if you have a software program and that doesn't have the capability, you could download this app and use it at your facility, right?
Well, it is integrated directly with two of the major software
Okay.
providers here in the self-storage facility
And
right
what
now.
two are
And
those? What two?
SiteLink and Storage currently.
Perfect.
And then there are others that are in development as well.
Good. Good.
So users that are on those software, they could have this program. And just so you guys know that this is not tied to use of full call center services. Like I said, I know budgets are a concern,
Hmm.
and it maybe is not the time to sign up for something like that. But to have an automated option only
Right.
certainly is, and it's far more cost effective.
Yes, I really like that idea. It's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Thank you
Good for
so
you
much for
all.
having me today,
You
Carol.
bet. You bet. Thank you.